Hello, it's Mary Lou here, and I have a new creation to share with you. I had so much fun making this one. I made it with my own digital journal kit, which is called Our Feathered Friends. I've got gum in my mouth, so it's hard to say that. Our Feathered Friends. I'm calling the journal Feathered Friends, and the kit itself is, I've showed you, I made a video so you've seen it. Has lots of birds in it and lots of flowers. So it's a beautiful kit. The colors in it, well, match the ribbon that I kind of dyed. Well, I did dye. It's in peaches and pinks and greens and lavenders, purples, and blues. And so you'll see lots of color inside, so I had fun with that. Plus I used some... oh, I should have got the name of that. I'll put it down below. I used some very old K and Company, a paper stack that I had that I found at some pages in a pack at my local thrift store. So I've had it for a while and I was saving it for something special, so this seemed to be it. So let me tell you a little bit about the journal, and the rest will be down below. It's 7.5 by 5.5. Has a 2-inch spine. There's the back. There's the front, the top. There's the bottom. She is very chunky. I'll tell you about the front image. I used some handmade paper in the background, and I used vintage ink to give more of a vintage feel. This is some papers from the kit, and this. I used a whole bunch of new images, so I may be coming out with an add-on pack. We'll see. Especially if you're interested in that, let me know and I will create it. If you're not interested, no use me going to all the work. But anyway, I might. Anyway, we'll see. But the images of a beautiful girl, a young girl with long, beautiful hair, and she's holding a bird. And then I made the flower from, this was a mulberry flower, and I didn't want the center in it because it stood too tall. And I don't know about you, but when I make my journals, I want this cover to be able to lay pretty flat so that you can journal in it. So I took out the centerpiece, put this little trim here, and then underneath I put some milliner's netting and some tulle and some lace. So it's softened it up a little bit, and of course some lace across here, lace on the spine. So let me take you inside. Here's the inside cover with this journal belongs to, the beautiful birds and flowers. And there's a lady with a bird on her shoulder, and there's a poem there. There's lined pages on the back side of all of the printed journal pages. Okay, as you can see here, I did a lot of trim and I had a lot of fun, like I said. Here's a pocket that I created from some of the paper that I had in my stash, and there's some trim and some lace. And Mary sent me this lace in a Happy Meal, so I used it in this journal. I did some printing on parchment paper, so there's several parchment pages. Here's a pretty card. I did stamping and stenciling with some fibers and some ribbon and a charm. And the story begins. Sorry, I'm thinking about something else. Here's I have a die to make this little bag. So inside I put some strips of parchment paper that you can journal on. There's 2 long strips. I thought that would be kind of fun. And you can store them in here or elsewhere. I did some stamping, and I did some spraying with Lindy's Starburst sprays. So it's sparkly. There's pink and lavender on there, and some stamping as well. I did some die cuts of birdhouses. I got a new punch. I've been trying to get this punch forever, and I got it for a great price. I was thrilled. So there's that. And then I put some lace on the side and some trim. There's a side pocket. You can see the bird. I had 1 pack of this kind of thing that came with this paper from that kit. So here's some cards. Did some stamping. Here's a beautiful vellum page. Not pretty. A napkin. Another page from the kit. Here's a page you can lift and bring down. So you've got places to journal in it. And it folds back. It's stiff a little bit. And then I had 2 of these pages that I thought I would I didn't use them in the book, so I thought I would use them for you to journal on. I thought that would be kind of fun. And I did a punch with the bird. There's Edith Holden pages, and it has birds on it and flowers. There's a clip here, and you take that off, and it's got, whoops, take everything off. It's got some fibers tied to it, and in the lace and trim pocket, there's a tag that I made. This is a vellum piece that I cut out, the bird on the tag. You take this off, and you have a booklet or a place to journal. And then on this side, there's this beautiful fabric that I got from Chris Rollins. Okay, Rollins. I don't know your last name, Chris Rollins or Rollins. I put a little, one of their little extra things that came with the paper pad. I put some vellum flowers here. Here's a punch. And there you go. So there's lots of little pretty things in there to work with. They'll slide right back in the pocket. And then fix on to here with this. And it's fixed onto a ledger sheet. There's some more parchment printed page. There's some stenciling. There's the center of the first signature. There's a nice belly band. I did some layering and created some little focal points. The vellum envelope has a booklet in it with parchment papers. I'll set that aside. Over on this side, I created a tall pocket, and then I put one of these Tim Holtz pretty thing, this thing to stack little tiny things in. So there's a bird and a tag. And the tags are from Laura's shop. And here's a beautiful image, hydrangeas, and there's stamping on that. I just got back from camping, so I'm a bit on the tired side. I made this journal before I went. Some printing, the other side of the ledger sheet. There's a cutout. I did some fussy cutting of this bird, and I put this pretty lady on there, and she's holding a bird right there on her wrist. There's another Edith Holden page with flowers. There's a pocket I created from paper from that paper pack, and I put some trim, did some punching. Here's a guest check. I put, this is printed on vellum. So you have that to write on, and there's a card with a bird stamp, and there's a lady holding a bird, or looking at a bird in a cage. There's some more stamping, and here's a lined page to write on, and you have some area here. There's the vellum page, another birdhouse. There's a little pocket I created. It's got some vintage crocheted lace here with a punched out bird, and then I added some more lace and tulle and different things on that. Here's it's a postcard size, and then here's a time card that I made a pocket on the back. There's a bird, and there's a French word, but that's printed on, this is a napkin actually that I decoupaged on there. Some more of that spraying. Here's a glassine envelope from Laura's shop, and inside the envelope, let you get it out, it's a pretty card with birds on a branch and a poem. And in the pocket behind the little envelope, there's another, this is a die that I have, and in it I put some of the coffee dyed papers. And then over here, this pretty bird image, and the bird on the back, slides in the side there, and then up the top, I love this one, another bird. Pretty image. That's the end of the first signature. We're on to the second. There's a pretty pocket I fussy cut out of the paper pack that I used. Isn't that beautiful? And there's some of that pretty punching. Here's a little tuck spot. Birds. And a little message there. You flip the page. This is all on an Edith Holden. There's an envelope here with another pretty tag on it. Or card, excuse me. You can see the Edith Holden there. Here's a colorful page. I love how this all went together. I made a pocket. It's a double layer pocket. You can see I put some of this stuff I had from the paper pack and some trim. Did some punching here and here. Here's a little card. She's looking at her white cockatoo. And here's a tiny little envelope. And inside, oh, this was so fun. I found this, I found it from a site where I purchased images. But look at this. It all opens up. And you have all that place to write on, but there's all those different birds on there. I thought that so went with this that I just had to include it with the cute envelope to set it in. And then back here are a couple of cards. There's one I put, this is a vellum sheet that I printed on and then fussy cut it out. And then I love this. I left this blank so that you can put some, whatever words you want there. A beautiful vellum page using those birds. Isn't that pretty? And there's a pretty napkin. And there's a page from the kit. Another woman looking at a bird in a cage. Here's a pocket I created. And some pretty lace. And then I created this little collage of laces and crocheted pieces and some tatting pieces. And it's edge punched. And so here's a card from the kit with a poem on it. And then here's a florist's envelope that already had the little eyelet on it, so I have the flower on a bulb pin. I fussy cut this bird out of vellum that I printed on, and then there's a part of a doily. And I put a piece of an index card in there. It's kind of a ledger index card. Anyway, I thought that would be fun. And then on the other side, this is another die cut I had. Behind the die cut, I did glue on some vellum so that it would be a sturdy little tuck spot. But there's a pretty card. It's not punched on, it's not stamped on the back. Little bird nest up there. There's a telephone. This is a vintage telephone long distance log. Some more of my punching and a little stamped image. There's a bird nest and lace here. Here's a couple of images from the kit. Here's another die cut pocket that I have. Put some lace here. And here's a beautiful little girl. And I printed all the little girls like this on a Red River canvas, so it's really nice. And there's another bird. There's a bird on the back. And then there's a little envelope from the kit. And it has a card, same. A matchy-matchy, but cute. There. There's the other side of that page. Here's a little, it's a flip that you can write in here. And it's on cardstock, so it's pretty sturdy. Should be easy to write on. And then back here, here's another girl printed on Red River canvas. And then here's a couple of cards. There's some more printing, more lined pages. Yeah, doily. There's the other side of the vellum and some really bright and sparkly spraying there with another nest, bird's nest. Here's a corner up pocket that I created. It's got some all different kinds of things layered there, and a button, cheesecloth and ribbon and an applique and some, oh, what do you call this brown stuff back here? I can't think of it. Anyway, there's another card from the kit. And here's another one of those little envelopes. Again, it has a couple of pieces of, or long strips actually, of parchment paper. Don't want it to go to waste, so I used it. And then over here is the other side of the Edith Holden page. Here's a pocket that I created from the paper pack with some lace and trim and a punched out bird. And back here is a card from the kit. An envelope from the kit with the bird on the front. And inside, there's several things. I put all the stuff that I didn't use from the kit. There's flowers and there's birds. I punched out extra birds. Got it. Camera quit again. Okay, next page. Bird on a branch. And then we have this pretty a belly band that I have some lace, some vintage lace, and then some more vintage lace in peach, and then an applique. And in here is another booklet filled with parchment paper. So you've got more opportunities, more places to journal. There's the back of that page, and so that's the end of the second signature. Moving on to the third. There's a picture from a page from the journal kit. Some of the paper that I used. There's a tag from the kit with a nest on the back. And then this is one of the new images I would offer in the add-on kit probably. More punching here. Beautiful peacock image. Some sprayed paper and another of the little birds. Bird house. Yeah. Here's a beautiful fan image that I found, and it's all sparkled up. I did use Wink of Stella. Here's the picture of a beautiful peacock. And then I have a peacock vellum sheet. Isn't that pretty? There's a pretty flower on that napkin, that beautiful doily. And there's another page from the kit. Here's a Rita Donnelly flip. And in the front little pocket that I created, there's this teeny little, says Songbirds. Okay, so it's a teeny little card. And then back here, I have a couple of things. There's some kids holding, or a little girl holding a parrot. Looks kind of like the one I had when a long time ago. Did some stamping. Here's a alterations card that I did some decoupaging napkins. In the back, I put just some odds and ends that I had left over when I was making it, the kit, when I was making the journal. There's some line paper there for you because I folded it up. There you go. Here's another one of the little pretty envelopes. And I did, excuse me, on both this one and the other one, I lined them with vellum so that nothing could fall out or fall through. And in this one is a pretty card. And those are in the back pocket, but you can see the decoration there. And here's a page from Edith Holden. Look at that beautiful Hummer. I did use Wink of Stella on her. There's that. There's a graph or grid paper. More parchment paper. Here's the center of the third signature paper from the stash. I had to put Little Miss Crafter because she had cut out a little bird. She has scissors. So I thought that was so cute. Here's a lady sitting out in the, I think her bird must have got away. So she's sitting out there hoping the bird, well, there's the cage, hoping the bird will return. And then here's another one of the florist envelopes that I used with a bulb pen, and it's a bird and a flower, and there's a flower that's out of vellum, and you open it up. There's another piece of the ledger, it's an index card that I cut down, but it's like that. Okay, and that's over here. And then on this side, we have birds at her feet and one in her hands. And then this is a sweet poem. If you've never, it's Jump You Little Birdie, Hark the Mother Sings, Fly You Little Birdie, Try Your Little Wings. I won't read the rest of it, but it's so cute. Little nest and flowers, Edith Holden. Now, this is an envelope that I created here. As you can see, it has the tie strings going around. And they're fastened on, so they're going to stay. I didn't put anything in here. This is something you can fill. So it fills the whole page pretty close. So that's a good place to put some private treasures or private papers or whatever you want to put in there. And I just thought, no, I'm not going to try to fill it. This journal was so fat by the time I got to this one that I thought, yeah, we'll leave it. And there's a stamped bird. Almost done. Thank you for working through this with me. There's a cute little bird and a little girl and a poem. There's another doily with flower. These are printed on vellum. This is a vellum sheet. This is sprayed with Lindy's with the little birdhouse. Here's a cute little pocket with a bird's nest on it. In the pocket is the tag from the kit and this card. And then this envelope is in the kit. It says Our Feathered Friends. And in it, I put some of the sprayed papers. I thought that would be fun for you. Okay, moving on. There's some more of I just did some really nice stenciling with green. There's that pretty bird again. Here's a pocket that I created. It's got lace and trim on it. And here's an image from the kit and one not from the kit. I don't think this one is. So this is pansy, so I'm going to have to do a little add-on, I guess. There's the last page, a little stamping there, and last page. Got something on it. There you go. And there's my signature saying that I created this for you. This will be available on my website, porchswingdesigns.net. It's the listings down below and the link. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.